class, and welcome to week 4 of our course. First of all, I want to verbally apologize for the troubles and issues that we were having with UCU this week. A few of you emailed me. I submitted tickets to the help desk, and I also put an announcement in our class about it. As you well know, the first week of class, UCU needs some updates, and so there have been a few bumps in the road along the way, but I really do appreciate you all's flexibility. And like I said in the announcement, if the response to the question was lost, you can type it in the comments box or email it to me. I very much look forward to viewing the first discussion that we've had this term and also providing you all feedback on that. To that end, by now you should have received from me your feedback on your biopsychosocial form. I think I said this on everybody's, but if I forgot to say it, a couple of things. First and foremost, depending on where you intern or practice, you might be discouraged from putting other people's names on someone else's form. So for example, on the biopsychosocial form, when many of you talked about Amelia, you talked about her wife, Juanita. Some agencies might ask that you just put spouse or client's partner, that kind of thing. And you'll learn that as you go along, but I thought I'd put that comment just to have that on your mind at this point, because at some point very soon you all will be getting ready for practicum and internship. The second thing I wanted to remind you all of is, and this also ties into your journal, is that when you are thinking about the diagnosis for Amelia, if you're going to think along the lines of depression or depressive disorders, in your DSM, don't be afraid to check out the section on specifiers. And if you're thinking along the lines of anxiety disorders for Amelia, don't be afraid to check out the sections on differential diagnosis. When I'm having a little bit of trouble, or when I'm like teasing out certain symptoms with a client, those are places that I go. And I have a hard copy of the DSM. I have my DSM-4 TR, and I know that probably makes me a relic because I have electronic copies also, but I for the DSM especially, I like having a hard copy in my hand, and some of you have asked me where you can purchase a hard copy, and so hopefully the information I gave you was helpful. As we one last thing too, and I put this comment on some people's papers, and I don't want you to think I'm picking on you, because I realize that the case study says one thing, and then some of the assessment forms say something different. So for example, in one place it says that when Amelia was young, she broke a leg, but then on one of the assessments it says both of her legs were broken. And so in a few of you all, I made comments about that, and then I noted the discrepancy. Another discrepancy was the length of time she's been working. I think on one of the assessments it says 10 years, but in the case study or somewhere else it says 6 years. And so either or is fine. I realize there are some places where information might not be as consistent as we want it to be, but at the same time, I think that we are getting a very holistic picture of Amelia in terms of her employment history, in terms of her medical history, her trauma history, et cetera, et cetera. So if you have any questions on any of the feedback I gave you on your form, please let me know. To that end, this week we're looking at other issues as it pertains to diagnoses. The poem actually the comic is from a poem, one of my favorite poems actually, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, and it's about an individual who's sort of reflecting upon their life and different stages of their life. And so as we think about sort of neurological things that clients might be going through, someone might reflect or be thinking, that's not what I meant at all. So along those lines, you have a discussion that's due Thursday about Judy, and then Sunday, another draft of your final project will be due. And I'll get those back to you guys as soon as I can churn them out. This week we are in residency in Nashua. You will recall your residency, you were in Manchester, but this week we'll be in Nashua, and so I'm available if you need me, when you need me. Just reach out, and don't be afraid to email or text or call if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. So I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a good week. Thanks.